now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, shalom, Mark.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom, Israel.
Right. Shabbat shalom. Let's get it, Israel.
Let's get it. First of all, Shabbat shalom. Want to thank you all for being on here with us.
God.
I'm going to wait a few more seconds, give everybody a chance to get on as Brother A-Time is flashing the welcomes on the screen. Again, welcome you all. Shabbat shalom. All praises to the Most High, y'all. I'm back. I'm back out of Wisconsin. I'm back home. Had a month long training in Israel. It was long, so thank the Most High that it's done, complete. All right, good. You're all putting the one up in there in that chat box, so that means you hear us very clearly. All right, Israel. So you know how we do. You know we're gonna let the Spirit lead, but we got a good lesson for every action. There's a reaction. All right, and Brother Phil, just come in at any time. You know, if you feel led, brother. But you know, Israel, we just finished a 3-part series on the generations, the third generations. We talked about the first generation and how the harlotry started to kick in and everything that led to it. You know, and this is just going to be a not necessarily a continuation, but just kind of a touch up to just really get into the weeds and to see why we're going through all this. Now we already know the main reason why is because we're not keeping the commandments.
That's right.
But even with that, we're making it worse on ourselves by doing stupid stuff, by making unwise decisions in our lives that's putting us years and years behind. All right, and that's kind of what I want to we're going to get into, me and Brother A-Time. But I do want to get a scripture for you to start off with. So go ahead and turn, and you all should have your swords with you. Go ahead and turn to Deuteronomy chapter 28. And I'm going to read verse 28. I know all of you are very familiar with this scripture. You can probably quote it without even looking at it. So Deuteronomy 28, and let's look at verse 28. And it says, Yahweh shall smite you with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. You know, Israel, you can read that verse over and over, and it's always more levels to this thing. And I'm going to show an example. Every time I go out, it doesn't matter where, and if I'm somewhere where there's a lot of us out there, you know, I see our people on the streets, and the mental illness that I see is just unbelievable. What's going on with our people, and every time I see that, I think exactly about this. You know, we're seeing brothers out there just smacking themselves in the head and talking to themselves and just doing all kinds of stuff. You know, cracked out on drugs and just you name it. And this is how you know that we are the people. This is how you know that the word is real, because everything that it talks about in Deuteronomy, from the blessings to the curses, have a unprecedented effect, whether we choose to be disobedient or we choose to be righteous. And of course, you want to choose to be righteous, because you know disobedience will never lead you anywhere good, but to the grave and to the death, to the lake of fire. So Israel, it really behooves us this very day. This is the time to start. If you haven't made any commitments, it's the Shabbat, day of peace, day of rest, day of reconciling with the Most High Almighty. All right, to make changes in your life and stop. And I'm not specifically talking to you directly, but I'm just saying in general, our people as a whole, we have to start making wise decisions, Israel. We have to start making holy decisions that are pleasing to the Most High Yah, all right, the Almighty Yahweh, so that we can rise up as a people and stop repeating the same crazy mistakes. All right, so I'll read this text one more time. Again, brother, just come on in, man. Whenever you feel. It says, Yahweh shall smite you with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. and you shall grope at noonday as the blind gropes in darkness. It's like our people are always like, when you look at our people in this mental state, it's like they're constantly looking for something when it's right in front of them. They're constantly looking for something. And you shall not prosper in your ways. Israel, and I hate this, and I hate sounding negative, but the scriptures are real, all right? It is what it is. You're not going to find anywhere in the U.S. where you have, I wish it was like that. And I'm not saying that it can never be that way, but according to what the scripture says, it's like our people are not prosperous as a whole. We're not. Who are the main ones always borrowing from people? We are. We're the ones that's always begging. Nobody's coming to borrow from us. And it says,
well, how nothing they want.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
No, I was just saying we don't have anything they want. The only thing they use us for is entertainment. Watch us play basketball, watch us play sport, sing, shuck and jive, for the white man. You know what it is.
And that's a shame, man. Like, you brought up a good point. Like with the sports and everything, the majority of our people, we dominate that stuff. We dominate NFL, we dominate, and hell, if we would have gone to hockey, we would dominate that too. But yet we only get breadcrumbs. Oh man, I didn't laugh like that, but it's just crazy. These guys sit back making billions. All right, and it says,
hey, we don't have one. Hey, do we have? I don't think there's one single black owner of a whole team, of any kind of NBA, NHL, NFL, any team like that, right? We don't. There's no. They're like part owners, but no.
Yeah. However, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think I don't know if it was Michael Jordan. One of them was, I think, like 70% owned, but I think he has a part. I think he has some like heathen partners too. So I don't think. Yeah, you can look that up, but I don't.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking. Sports
If
team.
y'all know in the comment, let us know, because as of right now, I don't think there is a single Israel that owns all of an NBA team. Maybe portions of it, but not all of it.
Yeah, nah, it doesn't. The only thing we got, it says Dwayne Wade, David Robinson, and Grant Hill are African Americans. Well, who currently have minority ownership of NBA teams, so they only have like a little bit of stake in it. But us as a people, we don't have any kind of owners.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
that's what I thought, man.
Michael Jordan was, but he isn't anymore. Didn't he sell his shares?
I'm not sure, but I know he has shares in the Jordan line still. The Jordan lines that comes out still, but still, that's still partially owned by heathens and everything. So he doesn't.
Yeah, no. I thought he owned the Charlotte Hornets or something like that, didn't he?
I think so.
Or like a major owner for the Charlotte Hornets. I think he was like the majority shareholder for the Charlotte Hornets. I think that might be the only one.
Okay.
Right. I think that might be the only one. But I thought he sold it for some reason. But maybe not though. I'll look that up later on.
So no, that's a good point, and it goes to show you like how the scriptures are really profound and everything in this aspect. Now, is there to say that there's no black-owned business? Of course, there's lots of black-owned business, but show me one black-owned business where you can hire at least anywhere from 10 to 200,000 people. We haven't had nothing like that since Black Wall Street, where you can hire your people, and this is why we're in the condition that we're on today, because if we don't have anything to be able to hire our own people and everything, then how can we even with that build our people up spiritually? See, it goes hand in hand. Not only is keeping the laws and the commandments are important, but Israel, you have to have some kind of synchronization within our people. We don't have that. All right, nobody's coming together to get land or anything like that. So, it's just getting rough for us. And I'm gonna finish reading. It says, "And ye shall be only oppressed and spoiled evermore." Have you noticed? It seems like our people are getting oppressed even more in these days. Let me give an example. Look how the rent is going up across the U.S. The average rent in the U.S. is like, what is it? Like almost, I looked it up. It's like $1,800. That's the average. That's like the low basic standard average rent. If you're doing below $1,800, you're doing really good. All right, but the average rent is like 1,800. So when you're talking about something like, okay, you want something decent and nice, you're talking about 2,500 a month, easy. Like, man, it's getting crazy, and the evictions are rampant, and guess who those evictions, majority of the evictions are happening to? Israel, especially Israelite women. All right, again, action, reaction, the things we do, and how we just decided to fall for the rope a dope. And this is where we are because they knew this. The heathens knew that if they can demonetize us to the point where um, we would sell out, sell our shares, sell our business, share our businesses, what have you, and just like, hey, let's mingle with them. They got businesses. Let's just go to their stuff. You know, crazy. And it says, oh, you got something, brother?
Yeah, well, I was just thinking about how you got Chinatown and you got all these other different
Oh,
nations
man,
that are
yeah.
in America that they form a collective, right? And they pull their resources together to only look out for their people. Man, I respect that, right? I respect that. And it's hard for me as an Israelite looking on the outside and just looking at my people, looking at how we're always just wanting to do whatever we want to do. Like, hey, we're always fighting for self instead of just taking an example. Like, for example, man, you look over and you see all these damn Mexicans, right? They just came over here, right? And they're flooding over here, right? Illegally or legally, whatever it may be. But you see them as a people, they stick together, right? If one Mexican gets shamed or whatever, called out by whatever it is on the job site, right? They all band together and they all quit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like things of that nature. This is the same thing that we need to do as a people to stick together. We just don't do this. You go and you look at Chinatown. It's all nothing but Chinese people working there. You don't have any other nations working there because they hire their own people. They built themselves a community for themselves in another nation. Yeah, I mean, like I find it wild that we've been here longer than any of these other nations, and we have still yet to do that. We're still in the ghettos. We're still in the hoods. We're still poor. Niggas still on drugs. Niggas still selling drugs and crack to their own people and trying to kill them, shooting each other, doing all kinds of other crazy stuff. It just doesn't make sense. It's like, when the hell are we gonna wake up, right? When you gonna stop looking at your brother like he's the enemy and realize that we all in the same struggle together? Right? We're all in the same struggle together.
For every action, there's a reaction, and
All right.
Brother Aton brought up a hell of a point.
I wanted to wait. Excuse me, brother, but just to show you what I was talking about, right? In that whole thing, when Brother Daniel had brought out verse 29, and it says that you shall grope at noonday, right? Noonday that's the afternoon. That's 12 o'clock when the sun's the highest. It's the most sunny outside where you can see the clearest, right? You can see super good. It's light outside. There's nothing that you're missing. But it said that at noonday, at the brightest time where you're supposed to be able to see the best, you're going to be like a blind man that gropes in darkness.
Man.
That's how our people are. All right, Slack you, brother. Go ahead.
Man, I was just that. And just thinking about that, it gave me goosebumps. Just thinking about that. Broad daylight, man. In Israel, it's like, it blows my mind. And then I just want to make a comment on the whole Chinatown that you brought up. And if y'all notice that, like, you notice how all the other nations respect them. Even our people are up in Chinatown buying their stuff,
God,
buying their hair and everything. They have shops set up and stuff. People eating Chinese food. Like I've never seen so many Israelites flock to Chinese restaurants. I don't even do Asian. I'm just saying. How do I know? Because I see a lot of people when the ones I work around with. That's all they talk about is Chinese food. Who would eat me some Chinese food?
Man. I mean, yeah. Hey, we've been here longer than anyone else, and nobody over here talk about something. Man, like whenever you go to our restaurants, the soul food restaurants and stuff like that, man, they always be some mom and pop back door. You know what I'm saying? Like you look up and it's just a beat down environment. It's not really, you know what I'm saying? You don't think of soul food, you know what I'm saying? When you think of soul food, you think of some like hole in the wall, cook little spot in the corner. You don't think of any upscale restaurants or anything where you have, you know what I'm saying? You just don't think of that, Nate. You just don't think about that. I wonder.
Yeah.
Salakia. Go ahead, Op.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to ask you, when was Chinatown created? Somewhere around the 1800s, right?
You know what, man? Look that up. I think the first Chinatown was in if I believe it was in San
Hold
Francisco.
on.
I believe it. Yeah, look that up right quick.
All right, come on.
And while you're looking at that, I wanted to bring a point about that too. But you know how all the other nations they respect Chinese people. Show me a consistency of Chinese men getting shot down in the streets by police. You're not going to say, you know why that doesn't happen in Israel? You know why that does not happen? Because if that would have happened, China catch wind of that stuff, they have representatives. They would, boy, the repercussions would be swift if that stuff would happen.
Oh, you know what's crazy too? Speaking of that, there was this. I was watching a video a while back, and they had a bunch of different nationalities on this particular show, and they were asking them, why do you think that America is starting to fade out, and our morals are going downhill, right? And then the Chinese guys like, well, in China, as opposed to other countries like China, and all these other countries, they have very low divorce rates, right? Because they prioritize family, because they know. Hey, thanks, brother Tolbert. So Michael Tolbert says that Chinatown began in 1846. God dang, that's a long time ago, right?
What was that? 1846. Where was it at though? Where did it start?
Manhattan, New York.
Oh,
Yeah, con. Right. So if I'm not they were like the Chinese dude was like, well, I'll tell you one of the main reasons right now why they always say that Chinese are smarter than people, they have higher IQ tests and all that kind of stuff. They was like, well, because I grew up with a mother and father. So that's what the Chinese dude said to everybody else, and they were so butthurt about it. But then, but when you look at it, the Chinese folks and all these other people, man, they prioritize families, right? They prioritize honoring their elders, right? And things of that nature, right? You know what I mean? Like, the older people get respect. It's not like nowadays you got some, the young, they just go up to the, to the older, and they might call them a nigga. They don't say yes, sir, or no, sir. They don't treat them with respect and things of that nature, man. You can't even, man, you go to China and you try to get on the elevator, and you might try to do something. Now, if an old lady's on there, man, you can't, you have to totally be respectful toward her. You know what I'm saying? Like, help her out with situations, help her out with her groceries, or whatever the case may be. This is just how that particular society runs, right? But you look at them and look how they're coming up. They don't have the same problems that we have over here, in the West. They just don't.
that's right. It's because they're well represented.
Action, right? For every action, there's a reaction, right? If we start believing in in the ways of Baal and Satan and all of this stuff, right? What's going to be the reaction? Nothing but wickedness is going to come from it, right? Everything that the Most High teaches in the scriptures, especially where it's family oriented, right? It transfers, right? It transfers into positive, strong nation building, period. No matter which way you go around it, right? Because no matter what, it puts you in a cohesive, right? It lumps you in as a cohesive group that you're able to work together, right? A village raising a family. I know that's not in the scriptures, but basically that's what's going on, right? If the husband of the wife dies, she goes to the brother. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing like they're out meeting new people that's not of the same. You know what I'm saying? Everything is all in together, and it's all encompassed in together in order to build a strong nation.
In Israel, back in the day, when our people, during King David's time, everything, all the laws were there to help us to keep moving forward as a people, to help us to. We had a system that was so perfect. That's where most of the heathens got their stuff from. They got it from us. Where do you think they got all that stuff from? What do you think? Matter of fact, when you look at David's army, they even mentioned about garrisons, companies, garrisons. Where do you think they get garrisons from? They got that stuff from King David's army. So, we had garrisons, and the way the soldiers trained, they were well disciplined. No other army in the world had an army like King David.
God.
Right? And this is, this is how all the other nations got their formations and their garrisons, got their names and everything. So, but that goes to tell you, it's real when we as a people were keeping the commandments. I mean, we had a system. that was so profound. Even from the way the men were trained, from very young boys to men, and the way the women were trained, from very young women, I mean, from very young girls to women. All right, women were preserved. They were preserved as virgins. So every Israelite brother was getting a virgin. All right, that was just the way it was set up. But we had a system that was so synchronized that nothing couldn't break it at the time. The only thing that broke it is that we broke the covenant with the Almighty. All right, let me finish reading this. It says, and we're still in Deuteronomy 28, and I didn't realize we are going to be here this while, but this is good though. Spirit moving. Deuteronomy 28, and we're in verse 29. It says, and ye shall be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. We see that happen now. Rent is going up like crazy. People are losing their jobs like crazy. Mental illness is on the rise amongst our people. And it says, and no man shall save you. All right. So let me just give you a synopsis of what this really means. I'm going to give you some examples. Y'all remember Marcus Garvey, right? Marcus Garvey, he ended up getting deported back to Jamaica and everything. No, he tried. His intentions were good. Malcolm X tried. I don't even want to really get into Martin Luther King because he was just, on the ways of the heathens until right before he died, he realized that he led his people into a burning house. What's the dude's name? Fred Hampton. He tried, but all these, regardless of one thing, all these
Nat Turner
tried in common was that their ambitions were in the right place. But here's the thing you got to understand. All right, they didn't have no army. They didn't have political. They didn't have economical system. You see what I'm saying? When George Washington and the boys came over here and everything, you knew what they did. It all goes back to what they took from the scriptures. Because when we went into Canaan, the Most High says, destroy and run them out. We went to destroy all of them. We weren't supposed to be dwelling amongst them. The Most High told them boys to go in there, kill them, and then run them out. Because I'm giving that land to you.
All
right. So when they came over here, that's kind of what they did to the Native Americans. They wiped them out over a span of so many years. Over 200 million wiped them out as well. So that's just, and so when it says no man shall save you, that just means that I don't care, what Israelite claims and says, hey, they can try to do for our people. They're not going to be able to save our people. They're telling you only the Most High. He put us in captivity. He's going to bring us out of captivity, and no man is going to do that.
That's right.
Whether you're trying to follow the camps, you're trying to follow that old boy who was claiming to be the God sent comfort, who is now deceased. You see what I'm saying? You always have our people out there that are trying to rise up, claim to be some significant of the Most High. They had the brother talking about he had a vision that he was on.
Yeah.
On Sinai. I mean,
he had a vision that God called him up to Mount Sinai. No. He said that the Most High called him up to Mount Sinai and told him he was the God sent comforter. That's just ridiculous.
This is like that dude Ariel dude. He said he claimed he had a dream that chart and everything. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? We already know that dreams can deceive our people. And we're gonna do a lesson on that one day. I don't think do we ever do a lesson specifically on dreams?
No, not really, but we definitely need to talk about
that. Yeah. I think
we're real big on dreams and astronomy and all this other kind of crazy stuff. And so we definitely
need a new moon lesson or something, or one of the feasts.
God, I'm with it.
Yeah, the feast is coming up pretty soon.
I want to bring out something too that you're saying on the very last, that very last part of that sentence in verse 29, when like Brother Daniel was saying, and no man can save you, and no man shall save you. That's so deep on so many ways, because he's telling you straight up that, listen, I don't want you to look for no man. The only way you're gonna get out of the situation that you in is you come back to me. Period. Right? So like these heathens, they believe in men. Their men can save them from situations because most I don't care about them. But for us, it's not the same. We're not going to have some great leader rise up, right, and then take our people out of the out of captivity into some land of our own, where we own everything, we do all our own stuff. That's never going to happen. The Most High has said it time and time again in the scriptures, all the way up into Deuteronomy 68. He says it again, right? No man is going to save you. Meaning that the only person that's going to get us out of the situation we're in is Hamashiach. And for us to get there, we have to endure and keep the faith until the end.
You know what's interesting though? Like speaking of that, I'm going to bring out this point. How you look at how they're doing our people. They're squeezing our people left and right. No, I'm not saying, Israel, that we can't have anything. I'm not saying that it's impossible for us to start businesses. All right, I'm not. We're not telling you that. But what we are telling you is that when we're talking about man trying to come in and trying to revive us, it's not going to happen like that. Not like you think. Only the Most High is going to be able to revive us. But just on that note, look how the heathens are squeezing our people. They're making it to the point where our people collectively either are turning into criminals or turning into a life of begging. If you notice that, look at our people all across the U.S. Where do the majority of our people live? In the hoods. In the hoods.
That's right.
You start all the way from California, go all the way straight up to Maine, and I guarantee you, every hood, even in the small towns, every hood, it's the same old crap with our people. Overpopulated with baby mamas,
drug dealers,
babies born out of wedlock, theft, everything. Like you can't have nothing. And if you look how junky the hoods are all the time, it's like that right there is a high mental state that tells you that. It's like that where it says that I will smite you with madness, blindness, and of heart. That's our people. And again, we're not talking about all our people, But remember, Israel, we're only as strong as our weakest link. All right. If
blindness.
Yeah.
I'm just going to interrupt right there for a second. Blindness, right? That's not talking about literal blindness, Israel. Like far as your eyes, you can't see, right? Like if you think it's talking about spiritual blindness. Like like Brother Daniel and I, we'll sit up here week after week and we'll talk to her blue in the face, telling you about this, that, and the third, right? Or let's say, for example, even if just average, just regular Israelites that are out there in the world, they might tell their son or their daughter about, being sexual temperance, right? Because I'm not going to lie, Israel, a lot of our wickedness starts right there, right? And but we can't see it, right? The blindness is that, hey, I tell you that, hey, brother, you need to work hard and you need to start from the ground up or whatever, so wherever it may be. You're like, well, no, I feel that I'm entitled to this, that, and the third. Hey, you cannot see that the only way that you're going to be able to get it is the way that the Most High describes for you to get it in the scriptures. That's it. That's the only way that you're ever going to really, truly be able to come up. Man, you can get all kinds of riches out here. That's not coming up. Because when you die, you can't take that with you. That don't mean a damn thing. And see, that's the whole thing that Solomon was upset about. Solomon was like, man, I can heap up all these damn riches, but when I die, how will I know if my son will just jack this off or not? Right? How will I know if my son will destroy everything I built? I can't take none of this with me. I can't oversee, make any kind of decisions on how my wealth is spent or allocated to different resources. When I die, it does not happen, right? And that was the whole thing. While Solomon was like, well, you know what? It doesn't make any sense to even heap up riches in this heathen world because you can't take it with you.
No.
The only thing that makes sense for you to do is to keep God's commandments, because that is the only thing that you can take with you, is your testament on how you live your life.
And really, to be honest with you, money is nothing but a tool, Israel. All right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's nice to have. I mean, it's not saying that it's wrong to have nice things, but money is only a tool to help you devise through this earth that we're living on. All right, but we are to manage that We are to manage that. So whatever the Most High allows you to have, you are supposed to manage that. Plan for the future of your kids, so that your kids don't have to go through what you went through. All right, that's all it's for. When our people start becoming and grafted into it, and that's when the love of money it becomes the root of all evil. All right, and to our sisters, all right, when you have 76% of babies, of Israelite babies being born to black mothers, do you really think this welfare is going to last forever? Do you really think when you go across all these hoods, for every action, there's a reaction, all right? And as long as the government is telling you, hey, we're going to give you more money, the more babies you have, the more money we're going to give you. You really think that's going to last forever, Israel? It's going to get to a point where they're going to cut that stuff off.
But you know what though? Hey, you know what I got thinking about the video you sent me earlier.
Hey, hold on. Yeah, I had a point. So I didn't want to lose my point. So
all right,
it won't last forever. When they cut that off, when they cut that off, our women are going to be less. They're going to be left standing with their pants down, not knowing what to do. All right, that's going to be profound. Go ahead, bro.
To build on that point, right? Brother Daniel saying that when they cut that off, when they cut it off, what's going to probably replace that is the mark of the beast.
Yep.
They're going to tell you, we're going to cut off the welfare, but if you get this chip in your hand, we'll pay you $2,000 a month to keep this chip in your hand. We will turn back on the welfare, and we'll continue to be zaddy, but you got to get this chip in your hand. Right? When they decide to make the move of the mark of the beast, everybody knows about the scriptures. Everybody knows about the mark of the beast, but they're making it so the mark of the beast will be something that you will take, because you will not be in a situation where you will be able to provide for yourself. Right? This is why they're breaking up the homes, things of that nature. This is when the first vial is going to start being poured out. Is when people start getting the mark of the beast, and the Most High is going to have to come down when the Most High is going to end up having to judge those folks, sending the plagues upon the earth, right? Killing the folks that have received the mark of the beast. But you see in the beginning right now, if you get trapped up in this white man system, well, it's not even just the white man, these heathens, period. If you get trapped up in their system, right, start depending on everything that they give you, right, starting to make you self-dependent on them, you're not going to be able to survive when they snatch the rug right out from under your feet. The Most High made men and women as a partnership for a reason, right? It's not no men don't need women. It's not no women I don't need men. It's none of that. In order for you to be a cohesive, working, functional organism, y'all have to be together. That's the way that the Most High had built it. If not, Most High would have just made Adam by himself, but he didn't. He made Eve as a helpmate.
For every action, there is a reaction. We're gonna keep. I know you're gonna get tired of us saying that, but for every action, there's an action. There's a reason why we're doing this lesson as well. Now, brother brought up a good point. When we are together, that is the way that the Most High has meant it to be, and that's exactly why the Most High gave Adam a helpmate. Why? So that they could work in unison, so that especially the woman could bag her man up. All right, and so for these women out here that are saying that, hey, we don't need no man, that's wicked. That's totally against the Torah. That's totally against the Most High Himself. All right, so for you to say that, but now because you're saying that, for every action there's a reaction. You look what's happening. You look what's happening to our people. On a very, very grand scale. Let me show you something like that. Let me pull this up. This is something that I like to keep that. But you look what's on the rise. Harlotry. Harlotry is something like, matter of fact, harlotry has been on the rise. Harlotry is like overflowing right now. It's like it done busted the roof of the harlotry. And and because of that, you have nuclear families that's on a decline. It's like you don't see too many Israelite families like you used to. You really don't. When I was growing up, that's all I knew. All right. That's what's happening. And that point that you brought up, Eitan, I mean that is the way that they're gonna get our people. And that's what I'm talking about. No man shall save you, because what they're doing is that everything is connected with all the rent rising up, this whole pandemic thing, the COVID. Now they're talking about more lockdowns coming soon. They're talking about another variant that's on the rise. They're already preparing for it, but they've already planned for it as well. They already knew what was going to happen. What will happen? That's going to all be. I truly believe that's going to be part of the market of beast. That's going to be part of getting our people to really submit. Here's the thing you understand.
Oh, go ahead.
In order for the heathens to think that they can try to have victory over us and buy this more time, they have to constantly get us to stop keeping the commandments. Go ahead, bro.
Actually, man, you would just hit. I don't know if we're working in tandem, but that was exactly what I was about to touch on. You ended right where I want to touch on. And how do we stop? How do the heathens keep us from keeping the commandments? The first thing is to destroy family, right? That's the main thing. If he destroys our family, right, and because remember now, in the beginning, when they first came up with welfare and government assistance and things of that nature, the man did not have to be out of the house.
That's right.
Right? Not for them, not for their own people. The man was in the house. It's only here recently when Israel, right, when we needed the assistance, and it's not even us really, right? Mostly who's on welfare? Women. Our women. Israelite women. Those are the most people that occupy welfare right now. Child support, welfare, it's mostly our people. Why? Right? They want to play zaddy to our people, make sure that there's no man in the home. If no man in the home, you don't have a covering. Spiritually, mentally, physically, none of that. Right? You're out there just flapping on your own. And we already see what happens when y'all out there flapping on your own. Right? Why Brother Daniel's bringing up a scripture, I'll show one real quick, right?
Go ahead.
Let me see this.
This is serious, Israel. It's like the heathen have been sitting back planning, and here we are. We're sitting worrying about which rims we're going to put on, what Jordans we're going to buy, what weave our people are going to go buy, and everything. We're worried about the wrong stuff.
God, can y'all see that, Israel? Hold up, give me a sec. Can you see that?
I can see it clearly.
All right, Con.
All right.
It says now we're gonna go to Sirach 26:3. I'm in Salah. Well, it's Sirach, but it's also known as Ecclesiasticus. Right? It says this is number 3, right? Verse 3 is what I really want to focus on, because this deals with the man and the woman. You know, I know a lot of times that y'all sisters feel like that we just getting on y'all too, but it's about both of us, right? And both of us, we are the man and the woman, right? We have situations that we're not doing good at. It says a good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. Right now, hold on, wait. Let me show lock you. Right, and it says a good wife is a good. Okay, there's another one, right, that I'm going to get to in a minute, right? That it says that a evil wife is given to a wicked man. Right, but we're going to use this same logic right here, and then we already know, so I don't have to go there. A good wife is a good portion, which are given to the portion of them that fear the Lord. So, right, what does that mean, brothers? Right, if you are in a situation, right, and you got a woman that's been treating you bad or whatever the case may be, or you got into a situation where some wickedness, hey, brother, you got to check yourself first. Right, because the Most High, He's going to give a good woman to a man that's keeping the commandments. So if you know that something, like I said, like Brother Daniel said, like if every action there's a reaction, right? If you're looking at a sister and you want to build a family with her, right? Is she what the Bible teaches? Is she the things that God has spoken about in the scriptures for you to look for in a wife? If she is not that, you do not need to, brother. You can't change her. Don't try. You need to get a sister that's already in the word, already virtuous and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? You know why you're going to be looking for that? Because if you yourself is a brother that's keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you're not going to be off in the clubs. Right? You're not going to be off in these situations where you're looking at women that are scantily clad, dressed, or they're in areas where they can make bad decisions, right? You're going to be in areas that are full of righteousness, that are full of light, right? Not darkness. And then you'll be able to choose wisely because the Most High will be there because what? You'll be using the wisdom that He gave you. If you're in a place of wickedness, what does that mean about yourself? Are you righteous or are you being wicked? And so in a place of wickedness, the only thing that you can get in a place of wickedness is rotten fruit. There's not going to be any good fruit in a spot of wickedness, period. So brother or sister, right? If you're looking to choose a mate, you got to stay out of the areas that are full of wickedness. You're not going to find a good husband in a club. You're not going to find a good husband and he is bought out the bar and he got the table and he's over there popping bottles with the bottle girls and he's in there. That's not going to be a good man for you. That's not going to be a good fit for you, sister. Brothers, if you are out at the club and you're doing something that you're not supposed to, and you see a woman in there and you're trying to go after her, you're not gonna. That's not gonna be the woman of your dreams, brother. Every action, there's a reaction. If you're dealing in wickedness, you're gonna receive that as well.
It's interesting. You brought up about being in a wicked place. Now, when you look at the hood, what mostly goes on in the hood across the U.S.? Drugs, like you said earlier, all kinds of wickedness, baby mamas, babies out of wedlock. I was watching a movie on the way back on the plane from Wisconsin, and I think it was called Once in a Thousand, something like that. And it was about this sister. She had a son and everything, but the father wasn't in the picture, of course. But then he met this dude, and it was like. But the point that I wanted to make is that the kid, when he got older, he says, you always did this and that. You just, But the most thing I wanted more than a mother was a father. That was the part right there, because like when you look at that, especially our boys, that is the most thing that they would prefer to have in anything more than a mother. They always want a father. They might not say that, but it's true. And the biggest defeat, 90% of the defeat, came when the heathens broke up the homes. But yeah, that's on us because we allowed it to. We fell for the rope-a-dope. Our sisters didn't have to get on welfare. They didn't have to get rowdy and start acting like they were independent and everything. They could have just kept things the way they were. Let me submit to my man, and let me do all I can to submit to my man. All right, because we are a team, and Most High put us together. But no, our people wanted to follow the heathens. They wanted to be like the white women, because the white women were doing that crap. When they were back living in caves and stuff, the white men was dragging the women by their hair. They want. The white women started off. This whole liberation movement started off with white women. Started off with white women. And at the time, our black women wasn't having it. But then, how they do, the heathens, they love to interject stuff on us. And then, little by little, our people started doing it.
You know what's crazy? Oh, Salaki, go ahead.
I'm done. I was saying, look where we are.
You know what's crazy is that it's these heathen are playing the same story of Adam and Eve all over again, but it's the same thing. It's the same situation. Let's say when you really look at it, right? When you really boil down and look at it, right? Eve wasn't supposed to make any sole decisions without the the permission of her husband, pretty much. That's just what it is, right? That's just because she was a helpmeet. That means Adam ran the situation, right? The first time that she acted on her own, right, which is what she wanted to do, really, when you look at it. I wanted to be the first one to do it, and I want to make a decision for me and my husband, but that's not what the Most High had put her on the earth to do, right? Now, the Most High, the way he acts, well, the Most High, the way he does things. Let's say, for example, he forced Pharaoh, right? He hardened his heart on purpose, right, to kill his people. Right, the Most High did that on purpose, right? So, we can't even begin to fathom the way that the Most High thinks, right? Because he made the Egyptians just for him to pretty much kill and destroy and throw against a big wall, stomp on, rain down 10 plagues, only because he wanted to show off to our people, right? Of how great he was to our people, so we will follow him, right? That's that was the core of the Most High doing that, and of course saving us as a people, right? Now, when you look at our people now, right, and that's the way. But right now, like I say all that to say that you don't know the mind that that the Most High has made, why He made people the way they are. Now, it's a natural instinct, right? Now, I'm not going to say it's not, right? Everybody wants to do their own damn thing, man or woman, right? You don't want to have somebody tell you what to do, or you don't want to have a father in your life forever, or you don't want to feel like you're lorded over forever, right? It just doesn't feel right? Unfortunately, right, the way the Most High has made it, that's not what it is, right? You know what I'm saying? There's a leader and there's a follower, even though everybody wants to be leaders, right? Everybody wants to be leaders, and it was that, and it's always been that way. It seems to be, right? And so the Most High, He has put the burden on women to understand that no matter what, they won't, even if they could do the job, they're not a leader. Even if they could do the job, they're not leaders. That's the way that the Most High has set this up. Men, right? He set up men to that. Even if you're not a leader, right? You got to be one.
You know, it's crazy because things, and what Brother Aton is saying, like I guarantee you, 90% of the women in America would not even go for that. All right, why? Because they've been brainwashed. They've been taught that, well, a man is your equal, and you don't need no man. You can do without a man. What was that old saying? That old saying they like to say, I can do bad all by myself. It's something I hear a lot of women say all the time, And if you think that, then you're definitely in danger, because that is a lie straight from the pits of hell. All right. The scripture even says that it's better to be married. All right. When you look at Isaiah 4:1, it talks about this. It's going to come a time. It's going to come a time where the women are going to have to realize, oh man, I shouldn't have never done this. I should have always supported my man. Because the ones that's mostly breaking a relationship, and this is stats, y'all, this is proof, it's the women that are always breaking it. It's always, mostly majority of times, it's the woman that's in a relationship. Why? Because, women a lot of times don't know what they really want. And they just assume that the grass is greener on the other side all the time. Because why? They fell in a trap. I call it the heathen trap. The heathen trap of thinking that the grass is always greener on the other side. All right. And so, our people just fall into that trap. I don't know if do you have anything else you was going to bring out?
I was going to bring out 2 Timothy 2:3 for just.
Okay, go ahead. I'll bring out a scripture after that, because I want to show you how, the heathens are really trying to completely destroy our people. They do not want the world to acknowledge who we are. They don't want nobody to acknowledge who we are, and they definitely sure as hell don't want us to keep the commandments.
All right, this is something that I want to show, just like Brother Daniel was saying that, that I could do bad all by myself type of situation, right? That's because, right, we're not, every man, they have to build themselves up, right, from the ground up, whether it be, from a child, to build yourself up, right, get yourself a, whatever it may be for you to end up to raise a family, right? But the situation that we have for our sisters is concerned is they have a hard time enduring, right? Enduring with the brother, right? Staying with them through times of hardships, until the very end, until the golden years. Now, y'all know I like to talk about the golden years. The golden years are called golden for a reason, right? You've already surpassed all of the hardships, all the struggles, and all of that situation, where now you're in a time of retirement where you can go and do your thing. When you're young, right, everybody thinks that, oh, when I'm young, this is the time for me to go out and experience life and do all. Nigga, you ain't done nothing. You ain't done a damn thing. And you out here trying to have fun. How you having fun and trying to experience everything and you ain't done a damn thing? That's not how the world works. That's not how it works. You have to work hard in the beginning, right? You didn't come out the womb running. You had to work, you had to crawl first, right? Then once you crawl, you raised up and you learned how to walk. And then after you learned how to walk, then you was able to run. That's how life works. Everything, you didn't come out an adult first and able to have an advanced, an advanced thought pattern. Nope, you were a child first. You couldn't even formulate words, right? You could barely keep your damn eyes open. You couldn't even see at the beginning. You couldn't even control your eye muscles. It takes a while for you to build yourself up, right? It's the same thing with relationships. The same thing with anything in life. Niggas just want to have fun though. They just want to come out here. Hey, you know, I want to travel or I want to live my best life when I'm early and when I'm young. I want to hold around. I want to do this and I want to do that. And I expect the world just to give me all of this because no, nigga, that's not how it works. You got to work your ass off in the very beginning. Struggle hard, go through life, go through the trials and the tribulations so you can make it into the golden years. You can make it until you get old. Well, then you could just sit back and relax and wait for the Most High to take you home. Because you know why? You've already built up an endurance, a shield, a barrier against wickedness. Man, you're already in the mode because you've been doing it for so long that it's normal for you to keep the commandments. You've been fighting off the, you know what I'm saying, the wickedness of these young mind niggas, right, and heathens all along on you, right, that you built this up, that when you get old, this is not a problem anymore, right? The scripture says, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also, right? If you look at Christ and you look at his Jones when he was a kid, hey, man, he was off in the church, right, studying the scriptures. He wasn't out partying with his homeboys. He wasn't out trying to have the best time of his life or any of that stuff, right? He was getting it in, building up so he could get what? He could go hungry and fast and beat Satan, who had flew him up to the top of the mountain and told him that, look at all the flat earth around you, which is why he was able to show him all, right, the kingdoms of the world when he flew him up to the top of the mountain, right? He said, look at all he was able to, y'all niggas can't do that. Y'all be, oh, yeah, I want to be king. I want to be king of all of this. He was able to resist Satan at his lowest time, right? He was able to resist Satan when he said, call down the legion of angels and stop this crucifixion, right? He was able to do all of this stuff because in the beginning, he struggled and he studied hard, right? He built it up, that force field against wickedness, which we don't do. We go out and we thrive in wickedness, have fun and swim in it, right? Verse 3, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Hamashiach Yahushua. Right? We do not do that as a people. We do not endure hardness. At the first sight of hardness, you're quick to leave your husband. You're quick to break out of a relationship. You're quick to say, oh, he ain't no good. No, we got to endure the hardness. Stay till the golden years. If you break up a family, right, you don't even give a damn about your child. You're just being selfish as hell. It is a proven study and a proven fact that children do so much better with a two-parent household. You can raise them up like they're supposed to, like the scriptures say, right? If you're raising if a father has a son in the home, right, he gonna raise him up just to be just like himself. So when he die, it'll be just like he never left. If we're breaking up the home and the mom is raising up the child, how the hell we gonna have that happen? We out of, you know what I'm saying? Like, for every action, there's a reaction. Look at the actions that we've so far taken. We the dumbest on the earth right now. We're the poorest on the earth right now. We're the most talked about and disrespected on the earth right now. And you niggas still think that what you're doing is the right thing. That's the thing that just blows my mind. Oh, we gonna keep doing it. It's gonna get better. We gonna keep doing it.
You know what's crazy when you look at when you look at generations from the 50s until this present day, we've gone so far backwards. It's not even funny, all right. And even during the 50s, like we've had some source of dignity. Even our people were caught up in Christianity, but there was still dignity. Kids playing in the streets, and not have to worry about anything. Discipline was the main focus of our families. You got discipline. And if you did something and the neighbor whooped you behind, guess what? When you got home, you was getting another whooping. You know, everything when you look back, it was like, wow, you know, the big change. And this, even in the last 20 years, there has been a really change. Again, for every action, there's a reaction. In Israel, it's like, you know what insanity is. Insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. And it's like what brother was saying, you know, nobody wants to work hard anymore. Nobody wants to stick with anything anymore longer than enough time to even allow it to stick. You know, everybody just so quick to just give up on anything. And it's the same way with it's just all through the board with our people. It's just nobody wants to work hard at anything, and that's just the problem. You know, that's why people are just infested with social media, trying to make money that way because it's easy money. It's quick money. You got more churches than ever. Why? Because it's quick money. You don't have to go out and work hard for it. Just beg for it, and people just give it to you. That is like the new way of making money now. It's begging. And it's just crazy. Let me show. Let me go ahead and pull up
Like
the
it.
first.
Con, that's real.
The new way of begging. However you want to look at it. It ain't no hard work. What kind of work? You sitting behind a computer and you're just giving scriptures to people and then ask for donations. That ain't no work. That's about as the laziest thing you can ever do. You know? All right, let's look at Psalms. Psalms chapter 2. I'm going to start with verse 1. And it says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his Mashiach, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. This is what they've been trying to do all along, Israel. Welfare, planting drugs in us, creating hoods. He that sits in the heavens shall laugh, Adonai shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree Yahweh has said unto me. Ye are my son, this day have I begotten you. Verse 8, ask of me, and I shall give you the heathen for your inheritance, and uttermost parts of the earth for your possession. You shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. This is what the heathens are scared of. They are scared to death. They are scared to death of our rises, bro. They are scared to death of us even just coming together to keep the commandments. That's what scares the hell out of them. But we don't you know what? We play right into their hands, bro. We just do all manners of wickedness. It's like we're leading out in the wickedness. It's like we're more blatant wickedness than the heathens. It's like we're always trying to outdo them in wickedness. That's the sad part.
You know why? Op?
Yeah.
Because it says in the scriptures that what? Judgment shall first start at the house of Yah. Yep. Right? So if judgment is going to begin with us, these heathens are trying to get as many of us killed as possible.
They're trying, yeah.
You know, they don't want this to happen. They know the scriptures. They read. They're not stupid enough where they can't understand where in Isaiah 14, right? Psalm chapter 2, Revelations. I could just keep going. Amos. I could just keep going forever and ever. Joel, of how many scriptures it is that says that we're gonna put those heathens in captivity. They're gonna get beat down and get put in captivity. They're not. They don't want that.
In the book of Enoch, you know, all through the book of Enoch, it talks about kicking the white boy all up in the tail and everything. But they took that book out. You know, even the book of Enoch says, "Hey, Most High is going to have vengeance, and He's going to deliver them into our hands to do whatever as our desire." But that's only be for the righteous, bro. That's why I don't understand why people just constantly want to be wicked. Because if you want to constantly be wicked, you're never going to get to take that chance, take that part in the Most High's vengeance. It's sad. Bro. It's a sad thing. And I know that breaks the Most High's heart too, because it's like all this stuff they've done to us, but yet you still want to be wicked and you don't want to be part to have, you know, to be a part of that righteous, to have vengeance, to be a part of that when the Most High has vengeance on our enemies. Man, that's going to be a glorious day. That is going to be a glorious day. And that's what the heathens are terrified of. You know? And, you know, I always hear them say, like, because they're doing this stuff, they're afraid that we're going to do to them what they did to us. Well, you damn right we're going to do what they did to us and much worse. It's gonna be twofold, Israel. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. But
You
we
know,
as yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt your thoughts. So
But, but, but
no.
we as a people, for every action, there's a reaction. We gotta stop doing stupid stuff, Israel. We have to stop doing wickedness because the reaction behind that is constantly killing us, and that's how we counteract that kind of stuff. According to Second Chronicles 7:14. If thou wilt but heed unto my voice, turn from your wicked ways, I will heal your land. But our people don't want to do that. That's the counteraction, Israel, is turning away from this wickedness. That's how you counteract this stuff. And to keep it from repeating it, sisters, keep your damn legs closed. Start understanding the value of your worth. Virginity is like diamond for our women. It's like diamond. If you're a virgin, and you know the worth of your value, that will put a man in his place. But no, not these days. Especially American women, they just giving it away for free. Matter of fact, you don't even got to ask for it these days.
Yeah.
They just throw it in front of you.
Well, Birkin bag, you can buy them a bag or something or whatever. They'll give it up. It ain't just, it's prostitution these days.
Yeah,
on all levels.
Virginity has become a crime amongst our women. It has literally become a crime. And any woman who's a virgin, they get teased and criticized and vandalized and all kinds of stuff.
Hey, you know what though? That's evil spirits and demons coming upon the women, right? Because they're doing stuff that's right. Hey, you ever just think about it, Israel. All this stuff that we have that is wicked as hell, like they're defending it. They're defending homosexuality, right? They are defending transgenderism. They're defending wild thoughts of 1,000 different genders and all this other crazy stuff, right? They're defending wickedness. And then if you want to be righteous, right, they're going to fight against you.
Yeah, somebody sent me a video. I don't know if it's you, but somebody sent me a video where it's this sister, and she had a bunch of men lined up, right? And she was going down the line. Oh, I'll smash you. Nah, you're too whatever. I'll smash you, mash you.
That's wicked as hell.
Exactly. I'm like, man, that's the mentality of a lot of our people these days. It's like no kind of accountability. Wickedness. It's just unbelievable. The stuff that I see, and it's like, do you not even? Well, of course they don't feel the Most High. If they did, then they wouldn't be in that situation.
You know what, too? Another thing, Salakia, right? Another thing, talking about, back on, Chinatown and how they're their own little nation. How they got their own little thing going on, their own little nation, right? And I respect that. But us as a people, right? You ever notice that you don't never hear anything about them? You don't hear them blasting their stuff on the news or the radio or whatever the case may be about them making moves to solidify their community, right? They don't make moves like that. You don't see them going and asking a white man for stuff. You don't hear about them begging or any of that stuff. When have you heard about the Chinese man asking a white man for something over here? You don't hear that. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear about these other nations of people asking a white man or asking any of these damn heathens for nothing. You don't hear that kind of stuff. So I don't see why is it so hard for us to just, make moves in silence. Make moves in silence. Chill out for a little minute, right? Make moves in silence and get our, and get our people where we need to be at, right? At least come together as a people.
Yeah, you know why that these Chinese folks don't have the issues? Because they stick together.
God.
They live together. I'm gonna tell you something. When I was in Germany, I was in Germany back in it was a while back ago. Oh man, a while back ago. But anyway, I was living in a town called Wilmington. There was a Chinese restaurant out there, and I noticed. And the Chinese family was a big old. It was like a big old house, but the bottom part was like a restaurant. It was really, ain't gonna lie, it was really nice inside. But at the top, the whole family lived. They had like 3 levels, And the family lived in the other two levels, and it was like 10 of them. But they all lived there. They all lived there and worked together. That's how they ran their business. you know, and when Aton's brought that up, that's why they don't have those issues, because they stick together with their own people. They
But
don't
they're a
intermingle.
family though, right? I guarantee it was a wife, a husband, and kids or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
yes. Wife, kids. Yep.
Probably the grandma and them was
Their
with them
kids
too.
and their kids. Yeah, they were all working together, making money from the restaurant. You know,
A lot
and
of people don't do that.
no, they don't do that, because everything when it comes to us, it's all about self, and it's all about what I can do. So crab in the barrel mentality, you know, crab in the barrel mentality. You don't want to see another, and then when you do see a brother that's trying to come up, you know, you tear him down. When you see a sister that values her virginity, you tear her down. You know, when you see a brother that wants to keep the commandments and do righteous, you tear him down. You know, that's just the kind of mentality we have amongst our people. You know, and that comes from hurt and pain. That comes from mental illness. Again, it all goes back to the source. And this is why we have to be simple. When we go into the wilderness, Israel, it ain't gonna be no joke. All right? It's gonna be just like it was when our forefathers came out of the land of Mizraim, Egypt. Because guess what? You're not gonna have nobody keep. There's not gonna be any excuse why you can't keep the commandments now. No excuse. I mean, there's no excuse now. It shouldn't be, but there's not gonna be no excuse for why you cannot keep the Shabbat. They're not gonna get stoned just like them brothers that got stoned back in the days. Like, what do you, like you have no heathen influence no more when out in the wilderness. You have no one telling you that you have to shave your beard. You know, you have no one telling you that, hey, you know, you can't wrap your hair. None of that, Israel. You don't have no one telling you that, no, I need you to, you know, you can't keep the Shabbat. We gotta have you do this and that and everything. Ain't gonna have none of that in the wilderness. So if anybody tries to break the commandment, yeah, you're gonna get stoned. You're gonna
I
get the
can't
pistol.
wait too. Damn, I can't wait till a time like that comes up, man.
Boy, you're gonna have to get their act together real quick. You know? But for every action, there is a reaction, and we're seeing this. We're seeing this on a daily basis. And this is why we see a rise. Matter of fact, who was that? Who was? Hey, y'all help me out in the comment. But was it? Didn't they just recently call the National Guard in? Was it Chicago? Was it Chicago or Detroit? It was somewhere where the government called in the National Guard because the crimes of the children of harlots were so great that they had to call in the National Guard. I think it was Chicago. Yeah, they called into they called the National Guards. And I think I sent you that video. I forgot where it was though. That our people are so damn wicked that they got to call in the National Guards because you got children of harlots that are just out of control. And again, this is a result of 77 point something. It's probably much higher of Israelite babies born being unwed, out of wedlock to unwed mothers.
It's
Because
the
they got
same.
because the government got these damn sisters thinking that they don't need no man. As long as we're giving you welfare, that's your sugar daddy. That's all you need.
Yep, that's the same thing that that's the same. It's the same thing as Eve, right? It's the same kind of it's the same kind of temptation, right? Let's go away from the natural order of things, and let's just you know, hey, I'm gonna be able to do what I want, but you be able to do what you want at what cost, right? You're literally, I mean, let's just say, right? What was the number? It was I want to say, what was it? 20 million aborted babies, right? Wasn't it? Yeah. It was something like, let me see. Right. I just want to, but that comes just from listening to the damn heathen. You understand what I'm saying? Like they want, I mean, like it's a damn shame that our people cannot even see how these people damn hate us. I mean, like it's the same folks that were beating you for hundreds of years. Any kind of program they give you, right? Like far as like the government is concerned, which literally means govern your mind. They give you have to analyze it to the fullest degree because it's not going to be something that's going to help our people out. They have not helped us out, period. The only thing they have done is they was forced to let us out of slavery, so quote unquote, but then we're still slaves to the same folks with our mind, right? Because it's still the same situation. We just don't have the chains on. You still go work for the same folks, the white man, right? This time, but except for, he gives you money now, but he gives you money to prop up his economy, because the money that he gives you, you go right back and you spend with the same folks. It's the same families that have been in charge, that have been beating your ass from the very beginning. They still in charge. Right? Our people so stupid that we can't even see it. It says that the black dollar circulates in our neighborhood, what, 5 minutes before it goes out or something like that? Right? That's Israel. Damn, this stuff is crazy. Right? It's just okay, Khan. Yeah, around. Right, the heathens have influenced our women, right, to kill around about 20 million Israelites. Right, we only got 40 million right now. 40 million. Then we would be 60 million strong. Nah.
And then really our numbers are growing, because you got to understand too, when you have a seed outside the nation, then that seed dwindles, because you can't say that when you have seed with a heathen nation, you can call that child an Israelite. That's wicked. That child is not an Israelite. It's a mixed breed that you created, not the Most High. It's an abomination. Call it what it is. That's what it is. All right. So even through that, our numbers are growing. For every action, there's a reaction. Sisters, what's the Poogies and the Ray Rays? What's the action? You going around the Poogies, you sticking everything that you can possibly get that got legs. And sisters, what's the action? You opening your legs. All right. What's the reaction? Popping out children of harlots that have no control. What's another reaction off that? Gang violence. Killing one another on the streets is getting worse and worse. For every action, there's a reaction. And the only way to counteract this now is, sisters gonna have to keep their legs closed to police and railways, but we know that's not gonna happen. And so it's like sad to say, a lot of our people are gonna have to just bleed out.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
A lot of brothers are filled up with lust.
Yep.
That they just can't wait to run out and just try to sleep with one of these harlots. Man, in the scriptures, you had, remember now, the Most High, he considers this as gods and kings, right? Those are the ones that are being righteous, right? Mm-hmm. In the scriptures, they had things where these kings and stuff, they were having the women soaking myrrh and all kind of different incenses for like 6 months, and then 6 months this incense, and then 6 months this incense, and then before he laid with them, and then they were virgins. He didn't give a damn how pretty they look. The kings, right? If you a brother and you truly, it doesn't matter, right? You're not supposed to be enamored by a woman's looks, right? Or things of that nature. A matter of fact, you're not supposed to be enamored by her looks, right? Or stuff like that. You're supposed to get the whole quality of the woman, right? You don't want to just lay down with anybody, right? That's wicked. You know what I'm saying? You're in a lustful, you're in a lustful spirit by that time. You're supposed to be, just like that king. He didn't give a damn if they were a virgin, right? They were virgins, no matter if they were dime pieces or what. He didn't care, right? Hey, man, you gonna soak in some myrrh. I'm a king. You just can't come up in here and lay with me. I don't give a damn about that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I got the vet, and I got to see what's good. Mm-hmm. For every action, there's a reaction. If you brothers are not vetting, and you brothers are being wicked as hell, like I said before, right? You're in areas that are not righteous, or that are filled with lasciviousness, right? What do you think that you're going to get when you're looking for a mate? Mm-hmm. Same situation. Evil, just like it says in the scriptures, a wicked man, right? A wicked woman is his portion, right? The same thing for you sisters, right? If you're, if you want a husband, you can't be around the places that are unrighteous. You're not going to be able to find yourself a man that's going to be a God-fearing man, right? A man that keeps the commandments, a man that'll be able to lead you in righteousness. That's not going to happen. You're going to have problems. You're going to be dealing with the toxicity, like they say, and the Pookies and the Ray Rays, and you're just going to let them get in. Niggas that'll stick their ding-a-ling in anything. Mm-hmm. You don't want them kind of brothers. Right? Thirsty on the prowl. You don't want no. I mean, like, we even in the world, they talk about brothers that are thirsty, right? The Pookie and the Ray Rays, they're the most thirstiest. That's why they trying the hardest, right? The thirstiest niggas are trying the hardest. Those are the ones that are out there that you know, that we know they frequent different establishments of unrighteousness.
It's not rocket scientists, Israel. We see what's going on, and we see again, for every action, there's a reaction. You do wicked stuff, you're gonna get wicked results. I mean, it's just bottom line. I mean, like how much plainer can it really be? And when you got a people that are set and hell bent on, hey, I'm going to just screw every brother out there, or Cookie's Ray Rays, I'm just going to screw every sister out there, and we're going to just have babies. We don't care the plan for their future. I just want the sex. We just want the sex. We don't care if they have a baby or not. You see what I'm saying? That's what goes into that kind of stuff. And the Most High doesn't take lightly to that kind of thinking, Israel. And what is the result of that? What is the reaction of that? Now you got all these children of harlots running in the streets everywhere. You got damn near calling the National Guard now. That's becoming a new norm, just to control these children. It's a damn shame. It's like you created all these children and popped them out for the sword. Born for the sword. That's a hard statement. Like, damn, just to be born, just so you can grow up and die, or end up being shot in the street. That is a hard pill to swallow when you really think about it. You're born, it's bad enough you're born out of wedlock, and then you born for nothing, born for the sword, no purpose, because a Pookie, and a Ray Ray and a Harley got together and just wanted to have some pleasure.
I'm gonna go to the scriptures, right? And this is for the brothers, right? So brothers, pay attention, right? It says, be not jealous over the wife of thy bosom, right? And teach her not an evil lesson against thyself. What does that mean, right? Don't teach her nothing wicked. If you got some situation that you're doing, right? Don't get her to be doing the same thing, brother. Right? Mm-hmm. That's going to come back and bite you in the ass. Do not teach her an evil lesson against yourself. Give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance. Right? As we see what's going on today, right? A woman, they'll marry a man, and then guess what they'll do, right? They'll divorce him a few years later and try to take him of half they got, and they did a damn thing to earn it. The scriptures already teach you against that. Don't do that, right? Meet not with an harlot, lest thou fall into her snares, right? A lot of women out here, brothers, they harlots. A harlot is a woman that'll sleep with any damn body, right? A woman that has plenty bodies, a woman that has plenty of dinglings on her resume. Mm-hmm. Lest thou fall into her snares. Stay away from those brothers. It's not going to be good for you. Use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts. Gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her. Give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou lose not thine inheritance. What does this mean, right? Just look at, for example, right? Kanye West. That's a prime example of that. Give not thy soul unto harlots. This brother married a harlot.
And then what happened?
You know what I'm saying? Took his money, right? And took the kids, did all that, even though they're mamsel bastards, right? Took them, right? He's losing his inheritance. Your inheritance are your kids. That's why we are the most heirs inheritance, because we're his kids, right? It says, look not around about thee in the streets of the city, neither wander thou in a solitary place thereof. Turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as a fire. Right? And then what does that say? Why does that say kindled as a fire? Because a fire destroys all. When you're, you know what I'm saying, love is not a natural, this is why the scriptures preach temperance, discipline, because what does that allow a man to do? To control his emotions. You don't want an emotional dude. Emotional dudes shoot up schools. Mm-hmm. Emotional dudes do all kinds of wickedness. Emotional dudes become a bomber, what is that? The mailbox bomber, or you know, putting out anthrax, and you know what I'm saying, these are the emotional dudes that are out here doing all, you know, go out here shooting up all kinds of stuff. Emotional dudes go in the hood and they shoot up the block because somebody done said something bad about them, or some old crazy stuff. These are emotional dudes, right? The scriptures, it teach against that kind of thing. Now, when you're in love, right? Now everybody's felt that emotional drug. It felt weird. You know, you might want to do anything for a person, but for a man, right? You need to be able to master this, right? Jacob, he spent 7 years before he got a wife, and that wasn't even the one he wanted in the beginning. Because love is kindled as a fire; it destroys all. If you're an emotional man, you cannot control that. You out here, you just doing anything because you feel like you in love. Oh yeah, baby, I'll give you one of my feet. I'll go ahead and sign out. Hey, let me give you $50,000 for nothing. You can't. You have to be in control, brothers and sisters, right? Especially you brothers. This is for you. Just because she's fine as hell and all this other stuff does not mean that you need to be starstruck and you need to be crazy, right? The scriptures say that what? We're not even supposed to choose on beauty. This tells you right here that you don't choose a woman upon beauty, right? She's got to be healthy, yes, right? I'm not saying you know, choose an unhealthy woman, but beauty does not matter. You're supposed to be looking on the inside, right? Especially if a woman, if she's covered up, right? If she's being modest in apparel, you're not going to be able to see how beautiful, you know, quote unquote, physically a woman is anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're supposed to be paying attention to what's inside her head, right? And the things that she say. If she says things of harlots, right? Or you know, tells you that you know, they have all these experiences and things of that nature, brother, you need to turn around and you need to run, because that's not the woman for you. Right? She's not going to be able to get on your program. Right? She's not going to be able to follow you as a leader because she's had too many experiences where she thinks that she knows. Now, well, you know, I got, because if you ever look at it, right, let's say, for example, right, have you ever, I know a lot of brothers, right? I know a lot of you brothers, you've heard a lot of, you know, women that are in their 30s or so. They all of them like to complain and say, well, oh man, brother, he ain't gonna be able to get over on me no more. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm old, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for a marriage. Ain't nobody gonna be able to get over on me, or nobody gonna be able to do this. Number one, they feel that way because what? The scriptures say a wicked man is gonna get a wicked woman. All right. So she got played because what? She was in a situation that she was dealing with a wicked man. Same situation. Vice versa, right? Vice versa as well. Brother, then you want to add in? You want to
No, I was going to comment on this what she said. Go ahead though.
Oh, con. No, go ahead.
So I just wanted to comment on what Chosen Hidden One says. We got to get out there where they are to share this truth and be an example as well. I 100% agree. Here's one thing you got to understand, because I know that me and Brother Aitan, we're out there with them Pookie Ray Rays all the time. You know, we deal with them. I've counseled so many women, talked to so many, whether they listen or not. You know, that's on them. Whether the Pookies and the Ray Rays listen or not, that's on them. But you also got to realize too, the Most High has given many of our people over to a reprobate mind. What that means is that you could talk to them till you're blue in the face. If they have to want to. But again, planting that seed is important, and that's what we're supposed to do, is plant the seed. Now, whether that seed grows or whether it flourishes or not, you know, they're gonna get the message. All right, if it doesn't come from me or Brother Aitan, they're gonna get the message. All right, our people are scattered to the four corners, so you know that's why we as a people, whenever we're out and about, we have to hold our people accountable. All right. When I see our brothers with, I have to get on with the old white woman. You know, it's like, come on now, really? You know, some of them get mad, but hey, I don't care. You know, see a brother with his pants sagging, hey man, pull your damn pants up. You know, they have to educate them. You know what they represent, especially a young man. I see that all the time. You know, you ain't my daddy. You know, like you're gonna remember that one day. You're gonna remember that one day, because it's gonna come back. You know, so. But our people are people. You know, for us, yeah, we have to hold out because we are our brother's keepers. You know, got to say something. It's up to us to say something to our people, especially if it's something that's out of order, that's going to lead them going off the cliff. You better say something to them.
Got to.
If you got the opportunity. So our people know, and our people know right from wrong. All right. Our people know right from wrong. I don't care if it's the Pookies and the Harlots; they still know right from wrong. They know that they sat up there and opened their legs up for that Pookie, and they know that then the Pookies know what they're doing. All right, and the majority of women that's having these babies is always by the same dude most of the times. Wake up.
Side note, I don't know. I'm just going to read number 9 just because I like number 9. Verse 9 says, "Sit not at all with another man's wife." Sit not at all with another man's wife. Like we have not, like if you look at the rap songs and all this kind of wickedness that we have in our community, I'm gonna get your woman and I'm gonna do her in. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? That's wicked. The scriptures say, "Sit not at all with another man's wife." You're not supposed to be up in another woman's face, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thy fall into destruction. Most High say it's destruction. He just say you don't fall into and you have fun with somebody else's wife, even though you think you might, man, you're gonna die. Destruction. That means like that means you dead and there's no coming back from it. You're not getting saved, you're getting destroyed.
That's right.
Forsake not an old friend. Oh, I like that too, right there. That's good too.
Since they hear everything on social media, why can't they hear the word? That's right. I mean, hey, the word is the word. The seed is being planted, whether it's in person or through social media. Social media is used for all kinds of wicked mess, but the word is getting out.
Man, I'm gonna read a couple more scriptures of this because this is some good stuff.
Yep,
all right, it says, forsake not an old friend, for the new is not comparable to him. A new friend is as new wine. When it is old, thou shalt drink it with pleasure. Right. So let's say you got, I got old friends from childhood I've known 20, 30 years. Right. Those, what I'm saying? Like those brothers that I know, man, they can't pull no tricks over me. They are old friends that I've dealt with for years on end. Brothers. Right. I know I can call on any situation. Right. What I'm saying? Even if I happen to get into a violent altercation with somebody, I ain't got to worry about it. I know for a fact, for all those years that I've been with my old friends, that those brothers are going to have my back, no matter what it is. It could be the police. It could be whatever it is. They'll put their life on the line for me, and vice versa. Right? That's something good that each and all of us should have. Just because you got somebody new around, you don't know that new person. You know what I'm saying? It says that a new friend is as new wine, right? It says, when it's old, thou shalt drink it with pleasure, meaning that your friendship hasn't developed into old after many, many years. Then you'll have a pleasurable a relationship with that person because you've been through that person with so many years that now y'all truly understand each other. You see, right? Like even that ought to tell you that relationships of any kind of nature in the beginning is not good. Yeah, sure, because you're going through a get to knowing each other. You're going through a get to know each other. Get to know each other's situation, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's see if this works. No, this don't work with him, this, that, and the other. You see what I'm saying? But then after many, many years of being friends with that same person, you know what that person will deal with, you know what he won't deal with. That's the same thing as in relationships, right? That's the exact same thing as in relationships. Brother Dan, you want to add on something before I go to 11?
Oh no, go ahead and finish reading, and I want to bring up some stuff because I want to kind of answer a couple of comments that are on the comments. So,
Con. It says, envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. Now, our people, that's all we do. We glory the sinner. We glory all these rappers, these artists, these movie stars, whatever it may be, and how their wicked lives are. And then a lot of our people, the majority of our people, we try to emulate our lives right behind them, right? Not knowing that his ass is going to be roasted in a lake of fire. He's going to be roasted, right? He's going to get judged. It says, delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in. It says, delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in, right? But remember, they shall not go unpunished until their grave.
Mm-hmm.
So it behooves you, right? Just because you see Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion or any of these nigga rappers out here that are saying that stuff, and that they got gold chains and they got cars and they got 50 heathen women or whatever the case may be, right? Most High, they said God, they go unpunished into their grave,
Mm-hmm.
right? So don't do it. Don't try to have pleasure in what they're doing. Don't try to be like them or anything of that nature. Go ahead, I'm done.
Okay. I just wanted to post something in the link, and I wanted to address a question because I'm always been for that. Let me see, what was that here? We find it.
Oh, the True Flyer, the con.
Yeah, I put that out there. I'll put that in the link. So I put something in the link, Israel. So chosen hidden. She brought us. Let's stop all the chatter and get out there and help the loss of our people. That's 100% facts. This is one of the reasons why I created. The Holy Spirit led me to create this flyer. For sure, a long time ago. It's been, I don't know, almost been over 5 years now since that's been out. So Israel, you can take that, because I like to take that everywhere I go. You can take that, print that out, and everything, and take those flyers and witness to people, and our brothers and sisters. Hand it out to them. You don't got to say much. You mean this? Look, it's just sparking that seed. Sparking that conversation and everything. And so that's how you do it. But I've this has been out. This has been out for a while. That's we were told to do. So you have the ammunition. This is why it's so important to study the word. So when you are out and about, look, when you're at your job, all right. I know you're not the only Israelite that's working there. I know that there's other people that work there with you. Slip more. I'm not saying that you gotta go start a conversation with them, but slip them something. Something that they can, hey, check out and everything. Plant that seed. So yeah, it's nothing to it but to do it.
Says we have a group of ladies here in the Midwest who go out and educate these lost souls. All right. So far in 10 months, Yah has received himself 32 people. Some listen and some don't. Not giving up on them though.
Now I do want to ask something. Sis, like when you do go out, there's a group. Can you put that back up there? Oh, okay. Says we have a group of ladies. Is this like going out to feed the homeless, or are they actually trying to teach the word to the men's and everything? The only reason why I'm asking is because if it's sisters only that are going out trying to teach the word, it would be best to have some men there to really give that as well. But I mean, if it's like go out and feed the homeless, because I see a lot of women that do that too. They'll go out and feed the homeless. That's awesome. That's what we're supposed to do. But at the same time, you have a lot of sisters out there that are trying to teach stuff they shouldn't be trying to teach. Then you start getting in that dangerous line and border. Like, not saying that you guys are doing that, but just something to pay attention. Yep. You can lead them to the elders. But Israel, well, we are on a fighting battle.
All right, Khan, it's lucky.
We are our brother's keeper. Sister, you are, and I believe that you're early. I guess I'm saying I think you're up there in the age. You are your sister's keeper. Your responsibility is Titus 12. Hey, brother Aton, can you bring up Titus 12 again? Can you bring up Titus is it 2:12?
Yep.
Yeah, Sister Hidden Chosen, let me show you what your great responsibility is. And I'm coming straight from the scriptures. I'm not making this up. But you are responsible for these sisters. Let the brothers. Good. I mean, if you see a brother, hey, and you want to give some scriptures to him, that's fine too. But I want to show you what the sister's responsibility is. All right. This is coming from Titus 2, the aged woman likewise. And unfortunately, not saying you, but a lot of women don't want to hear this, all right? Because they don't want this. They want to be priests. They want to be priests and prophets. It says the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given too much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober. If you're doing this, all praise to the Most High. To love their husbands. If you're doing this, all praise to the Most High. To love their children. If you're doing this, all praises to the Most High. To be discreet. All right. Chase keepers at home. If you're doing this, all praises to the Most High. And I'm not talking about just you, but I'm talking about all the sisters. All right. Obedient to their own husbands. Now, you said that your husband had passed away, so that makes you a widow.
She's good.
Right?
She's straight. Yeah, she's straight up. Right here.
That the word of God may not be blasphemed. So all praises. All praises to the Most High.
We go out and feed and give out. All praises to the Most High. Hebrews Bible.
Yes.
Then we got a
great.
group of bros who take it from there. Not teaching, just showing them by example. Sisters, y'all need to this is exactly what Brother Daniel and I we always teach about.
Yep.
We don't even have to say anything. This sister already knows the order.
Yep.
Right. There are no women disciples in the scripture. I think we got Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Susanna.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the only I would say like they would be considered as disciples, but they didn't teach anything. Only thing they did is hang around Hamashiach the whole time.
That's right.
Right.
And
so all
sisters,
praises to the Most High, sis.
Yeah, and sisters like Chosen Hidden, which is because she, said it in the comments. That's why I'm commenting on it and everything about losing her husband. Sorry to hear that. But she's a widow, and widows, they do have the right. They can remarry because they're not under the law of marriage, so they can remarry, right? Whether they want to or not, they have the law. They're under the law. They can be remarried. So, and I just don't want. And I know sister knows this, but for any women who are widows, don't feel like because we get on the harlots a lot. But if you're a widow, your husband has died, then yes, you're not under that law of marriage. You can remarry. All right. No matter if you had kids by the husband, you can remarry. It's just that we get on these sisters because a lot of them they don't even marry and they're getting with the pookies and babies and have babies left and right. For every action, there is a reaction. All right. And this is what we have to do as a people. We have to hold our people accountable. So all praises to the Most High. And we need more sisters like Chosen Hidden.
That's right.
We really do. We really need more like that to really, because being senior, and having that experience, and they can better reach the sisters, believe it or not, than the brothers. All right. And they will more likely listen to a senior woman, a senior sister, than they would, us or any man. It's just because of the pride and everything. Yep.
Man, all praises to the Most High for that sister, man. I'm serious. I'm not gonna lie, sis. I was just a tad bit of I was like, oh man. But then when she said that right there, man, that just lifted up my heart and my spirit.
Yeah.
All praises to the Most High for that. Just man, that's awesome, man. I love my people from the heart. All praises, sis.
Saying that doesn't exist. Hey, hold on for a minute. Let me see if I can click on it and see if it'll fly. You know what? Try. Okay, go to my. Let's see. It doesn't exist. Go to my community page on Seed of Israel. Talking to True Talk Language Lounge. Yeah, go to if you can go to my page, Seed of Israel. Go to the community. The latest Shabbat post, I have it in there. If you can't, if it still comes up, don't come up, then email me.
Okay.
Email the Mind of the Brotherhood. All right, and I'll send it to you through email. It should, because I clicked on it. I clicked on that so long ago, and it came up. Not on here, but somewhere else, and it still came up. We'll make sure you have that flyer, because that's something that you can take to the print shop. Of course, don't do it today, but take it to the print shop and get it printed out. to make sure you do the double page where it prints on one side and the other. So then you can just all you gotta do is fold them up, and you can pass them out. Matter of fact, tomorrow I gotta go print some more out. So, yep. Yeah, but if you still can't get the flyer after that, just email the Mind of the Brotherhood, and I'll make sure I'll send you the flyer straight from my computer.
All right.
Matter of fact, let me pull it up right quick. Let me pull it up
so see if it's working. Make sure you don't have to re-upload it.
Yeah. Let me pull it up right quick. Give me a second. Pull this flyer up. Let's see here. I got it. Always keep that stuff in my files and everything. Oh, here we go. Flyer. But Israel, if they got any questions, go ahead and post them in the comment section. All right. Shoot flyer. All right, here we are. I just gotta pull this up quick. Now let me share the screen. Oh, man, this thing has got too many windows up. All right. Let me get rid of this one because I'm pretty much done with everything that I had to say.
Con, I'm gonna read 6, 7, and 8, and I'll be done. I want that. I'm gonna get out to the men before we get out of here.
Yep. Yeah,
because we always read 3, 4, and 5, but we don't ever highlight 6, 7, and 8. I damn sure want to do that.
If you haven't, there's another part to this, but if you haven't seen the, can you see it up?
Yeah, Con, I can see it good, but not all of it. You got to scroll up and let them see the rest of it.
It's this right here, all of this.
All right, Con.
Yep. That's the truth flyer.
Those are all killer scriptures to get them starting. Like if they have any type of spirit, like it says, we'll be, the spirit recognizes the spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you give them that and they read those scriptures in there, if the Most High don't speak to them or it doesn't convict their spirit, then you ain't gotta worry about it. But most folks that read this flyer that I've dealt with. Hey man, I always get a call back, or I always get an email, or I always get something. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, this, that, and the third.
And you notice I don't have my contact information on it because it's really not important. Because this is this is God's work. So, we don't desire no credit for this or anything. So that's not what we're here for.
Get this last script. All right, Israel. Last one to the brothers, right? Young men. Likewise, exhort to be sober-minded, right? Exhort. You know that word means to convince, right? To encourage your other brothers to be sober-minded. What does that mean? You ain't popping bottles. You ain't getting drunk. You're not getting high or anything of that nature. You're supposed to be sober-minded. Encourage your brothers to be sober-minded.
That's right.
In all things, right? In all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works. Now, once a pattern is something that's done over and over and over again, right? That's how you learn something. Do something over and over again. That's going to instill that particular. It's going to be like a habit. It's going to be a habit of good works. In all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works. In doctrine, showing uncorruptness. Gravity, not the made up white man thing, right? But it's talking about the weight of your words, right? Like when you're talking, right? It's not something that's frivolous, right? It's something that holds weight, right? Slocky. I don't know the big speed. Take your ass off my screen. Slocky. All right. It says, in all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works, in doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gravity, and sincerity, sound speech, right? So you're not over here talking about lasciviousness or that girl has a big behind or this, that, and the other, right? You're not talking about any of that stuff, right? Sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. So if you're keeping your communication and your acts in all the way that you're doing in righteousness, right? Somebody who's a wicked nigga, right? Or you know, a heathen of that nature, you know, they're all wicked, right? If they're coming up to you saying some crazy stuff, right? They're not going to want to feel like they're not going to want to say that to you, because everything that you have said has been void of wickedness. You haven't lusted on any women in front of them. You haven't talked about any kind of, oh yeah, bro, when I get I'm gonna go ahead and get drunk. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give me this, that, and the third, or you know, brother, I'm about to, you know, every day I'm about to roll me the fattest blunt. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third, right? Brothers aren't doing that, right? Mm-hmm. So then when other people, they come into them and talk to them, right? They don't feel the urge to say anything that'll get, you know what I mean, that is not righteous to get this brother in a place of darkness, right? So that's why it behooves every brother out here to watch how you speak, right? You gotta watch how you speak, watch how you carry yourself, and to exhort, which means to convince your other brothers to be sober-minded at all times, right? These heathen, man, they want you, you know, nodding out. You know what I'm saying? They want you on crack, cocaine, drunk off the 40 bottle. You know what I'm saying? High out your mind. You know, so you can't understand or see or prevent what's going on in front of you. So you just be another chaff for the you know, for you to be some more kindling for the lake of fire. That's it.
Oh, you're right. And
yeah,
it is right. Yeah, let's get on board so we can get up on out of here. Keep these commandments. We can get into this. If we, you know, if the Most High's will, you know, we're alive. Because guess what? All Israel, anybody who's alive during that time, we're going into the wilderness, Israel. Whether you want to or not, we're going into the wilderness. So know that for sure. To who was it? I was trying to find that link. Let me go back down here. For True Talk Language, I just opened it up on my community post on my phone, and the flyer opened up. So, but again, if you still have any issues with it, just email the Mind of Brotherhood.
Okay.
You get squared away. And also, if you're on an iPhone, our phones are horrible for downloading stuff, y'all. So if you have an iPhone, that's probably one of the reasons. But if you have an Android, then you shouldn't have no problem downloading it. I don't know, iPhones are terrible because I've had a lot of people with iPhones that try to download the calendar and they wouldn't do it. So
yeah. They want you to pay for everything, or you know, iPhone. That's crazy stuff. Yeah, I have no idea why that's the number one phone. Android should be. So much more. I mean, that's neither here nor there. Talking about.
I used to have an iPhone. I got rid. I saw the light, came to the truth, and I never went
back. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Israel. If y'all got any more questions or anything else to say, Brother Daniel and myself, I guess we'll be out of here and we'll enjoy the last few hours of our Shabbat.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and Brother Daniel, take us out.
We bid you a Shabbat Shalom.
Stay strong, Israel.
Oh.